Roster update number 2 is about to be upon us. It comes out on Friday. I hope you guys have been preparing, but in case you haven't, I wanted to give you guys some predictions on guys that I think could possibly be getting upgraded in this Friday's update. Now, just a couple things before we get into it. Number 1, these are just predictions. These are not guarantees, so obviously take everything I say with a little bit of a grain of salt. Number 2, I only like to talk about upgrades. I don't really focus on any downgrades in these videos. And number 3, I only really go over guys that I think are going to be upgraded from one tier to the next. So bronze to silver, silver to gold, and gold to diamond. So for example, a guy that might get an upgrade, but I don't know for sure if he's going to go to diamond. Trevor Bauer is kind of an iffy one for me. He's off to a really good start in 2020, but in 2019, he only pitched 56 innings, but he had an ERA well above 6. So we got to remember that these are on a 3-year average. So Trevor Bauer may get an upgrade. He may go diamond, but I am not confident enough in that pick to say for sure. Gio Gonzalez is another guy that I'm seeing a lot of love for, and I'm seeing a lot of hope that he'll go gold. For me, the thing that would make him go gold, if we look at what he's doing this season, is he's got to get a power upgrade against right-handed pitching. And he does have 3 home runs and a double, so it's very possible that he gets that upgrade, but I don't think he's going to get anything to left-handed pitching. The dude only has a 286 on base against lefties this year, so if he gets an upgrade, it's going to be from that power against righties. Will it be enough to get him to an 80? We'll see. Nick Castellanos from the Reds. We're going back over to Cincinnati. A lot of people are hoping that this guy goes diamond because of the absolutely insane start he's had to the season. He's got an OPS over like 1,300. The only reason I'm a little bit hesitant on Nick Castellanos is because he's an 81 overall, and he absolutely should get an upgrade to his numbers against right-handed pitching. He's got an OPS over 1,400 against righties, but the thing that's tough about this guy is the fact that he's got no fielding, so all of his upgrades have to come off of his hitting. And you compare him to a guy like JD Martinez, who's a little bit of a similar player. JD's only an 84. So that's what makes me a little bit hesitant to say if Castellanos is going to go diamond or not. But MLB The Show has proven so far that, that Sonny Gray upgrade last week, they're willing to get a little more aggressive on these updates. So I could be totally wrong here. Also, down in the comments of this video, let me know who you think should be upgraded, because I'm sure there's going to be guys that I don't talk about, or guys that may be going under the radar, or whatever it is. So feel free to leave that down in the comments, so that way other people can check out the comment section for some upgrade ideas as well as just the video itself. Now let's go ahead and get into my actual confident predictions. We'll start it off with bronze to silver. I'm bringing Luis Robert back. He was on my predictions last week. He did get a boost to a 74 overall, but I still think this guy should be a silver with the way he's been playing. I mean, he's hitting 364. He's got a 429 on base, a 568 slugging, and a 998 OPS at the moment. He's got 2 home runs, 3 doubles, 6 RBIs, and he's got 4 steals, which actually leads the American League at the moment. And realistically, you could say he maybe should get an upgrade against righties or lefties. I think he needs a hitting upgrade across the board. He's hitting very well against both righties and lefties. Honestly, I just think he needs a major buff, because I think he's going to be an absolute stud. So yes, I think Luis Robert will get another upgrade to send him to a silver. Moving on to the other team over in Chicago, we're going to go to the Cubs, and I'm going to say Tyler Chatwood gets a +4 to get him up to a 75 overall silver. I mean, he's gotten 2 starts this year. He mainly was used out of the bullpen last year. I mean, he pitched in 38 games and only 5 of those were starts, but I mean, he pitched 76 innings last year with a 3.76 ERA, and so far this season he's made 2 starts. He's got a 0.71 ERA in 12 2/3 innings pitched. He's struck out 19 batters. He's got a 4.3 hits per 9. He hasn't allowed a single home run yet this season. 2.8 walks per 9, 13.5 strikeouts per 9 right now. His per 9s are up across the board. Honestly, this guy could get upgrades in many different ways, and I think when you add all that together, it might be enough to get him up to a 75 overall. Now let's jump into silver to gold. This is where I think a lot of you guys can make the most amount of stubs possible, because you can buy silvers for a little bit cheaper. Let's get into it. Ike Utley of the San Francisco Giants. He started at a 76 last week. He got a little bit of an upgrade up to a 78. I think he needs more more of an upgrade. He's hitting 310 with a 473 on base, 643 slugging, 1100 OPS at the moment. He's got 3 home runs, 3 doubles, 1 triple, 7 RBIs. And what's really interesting about him right now is that he's got 13 walks on the season, which is actually leading the National League. And he's only got 48 vision on his card, so he could very well get a vision upgrade. He's a little bit better against right-handed pitching, but against lefties this season, he's slugging 643 with an 1117 OPS and 3 extra base hits. So I could definitely see him getting an upgrade to his numbers against lefties, and I think it might be enough to push him up to an 80 overall. I talked about Michael Conforto last week, and similar to Yastrzemski, he got a little bit of a boost, but not all the way up to a 79. What I really focused on last week was the fact that Conforto could get a major upgrade to his numbers against left-handed pitching, and I think he could do that again this week. Let's take a look at what Conforto's doing. On the season, he's hitting 318 with a 412 on base. He's got a 912 OPS. He's got 2 home runs and 2 doubles, so 4 extra base hits total, and all 4 of those extra base hits have come against left-handed pitching. And when you pair that with 65 power and 59 contact, there could definitely be a boost there, and the fact that he's at a 79 overall, he only needs a little bit more to get there, I think Conforto's got a strong shot. Going over to the Minnesota Twins now, we've got Kenta Maeda, another 79 overall, very close to getting an upgrade. Kenta Maeda is off to a really strong start this season. He's made 2 starts, he's pitched 11 innings, he's got a 1.64 ERA with 12 strikeouts, allowing just about 4 hits per 9, less than a home run per 9. He's striking out almost 10 for 9 innings, and he's only allowing 1.5 walks per 9. So the per 9s, similar to Tyler Chatwood across the board, are really solid, and honestly, he could get an upgrade to any of them at the moment. Maybe the Ks per 9 stays at around 78 overall, but definitely the hits per 9, walks per 9, and the home runs per 9 could get an upgrade there. So, I mean, if you just boost him up a little bit, +2, +3, to 1 or 2 of those attributes, I think that could be enough to get him up to an 80. And actually, going back to Gio with what I just said about Conforto and only needing a little bit, I mean, 58 power against righties with what he's put together so far with a 1168 OPS and 3 home runs and a double. It's possible. I don't know. I may be a little bit more sold on Gio now that I've kind of thought about it a little bit more. And my last silver to gold prediction, I think probably the most obvious one at the moment, Corey Seager of the Dodgers. He's a 78 overall. I think everybody is banking on this guy to go gold. I mean, he's hitting 356. He's got a 408 on base percentage, 644 slugging, and OPS over 1,000. He's already got 3 bombs on the year, 4 doubles, 7 RBIs. He's got 16 hits, which is tied for the lead in the National League right now. And you could pick between righties and lefties which one you think he would get an upgrade on, but realistically, he could get an upgrade to all 4 of them, contact and power against righties and lefties. Honestly, Seager across the board needs a little bit of a buff with the way he's performed at the start of this season. So I definitely think Corey Seager, whatever it is on the hitting, will get him up to an 80 overall gold. All right, now comes the fun part. Who do I think could possibly be going diamond this week? I talked about Johncarlo Stanton in the last video, and I think now that he's had a few more games under his belt, he's still hitting well. I think it's time to give Johncarlo that +1 overall to an 85. I mean, he's hitting 296 with a 472 on base. He's slugging 593 with an OPS over 1,000. He's got 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 6 runs batted in. And if you look at Giancarlo's card, he's got 61 contact against righties. I mean, he's hitting 292. 292 against righties definitely deserves more than 61 contact, especially when he's put together a 452 on base against right-handed pitching and an OPS over 1,000, and all of his extra base hits this season have come against righties. So I think if he's going to get an upgrade, it's going to be against right-handed pitching, and I don't think he'll need that much to get him up there. And my final pick of the video, a kind of surprising one to me, Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn, I guess I was just kind of not really thinking about it, or I wasn't really looking at the numbers, but this dude's performing extremely well. In 3 starts this season, he's pitched 18 1/3. He's only allowed 6 hits. He's got 24 strikeouts in those 18 innings, and he's got an ERA at 0.49. He's allowing less than 3 hits per 9, less than half a home run per 9, 4.5 walks per 9, and 11, almost 12 strikeouts per 9. I think this dude needs a major hits per 9 upgrade. I would say maybe +4, +5. And striking out almost 12 batters a game so far in those 3 starts, Ks per 9 could get a little bit of a boost. And you know, you've seen how easily some of these cards can go diamond just based off small little upgrades, and I think Lance Lynn is deserving of those upgrades right now. So a very surprising one for me when I actually started to look at the numbers. Lance Lynn could very well go diamond. So those are my picks for the roster update this week. Down in the comments, like I said, let me know who you think is going gold, diamond, whatever. I'm sure there's some players that I didn't talk about that you want to see upgraded, so make sure to leave that in the comments so people can check those out for some tips as well. But hopefully you guys invest well. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.